Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to today's podcast of the Weekly Finessings. I'm your host, Andrew Martin. I am here to discuss all of the week's finessings this afternoon. We've got several. Last night, Tuesday night was very busy. Come on, dog. Let me check on my dog. Last night was very busy. Yes, I mean there's a lot to get for. There's a lot to get into. First things first, Lamar Jackson going to the ship, so y'all better get right. Better get on board or get used to seeing it because it's kind of ridiculous. All right, let's see here. 1 minute here. I got my trusty little log here. Okay, first off, the waiver wires were very busy. We had a Frank Gore pickup. Of all people. Wow. I honestly thought the only person who's going to be picking him up was our Lord and Savior when he died in a week. We had a outbidding for Mike Gesicki. I'm not a fan of that. Let's see what else we had. Justin Herbert. Cheese gets spoon-fed. He's a backup quarterback, and then all of a sudden doctors forget how to do their job. So yeah, that's a spoon feeding in itself right there. Let's see here. We have an overpayment for Jerick McKinnon, $35. I myself put down 15, but I tend to not put down 15 for more than backup running back. So let's see here. Keaton Shipman got Joshua Kelly for 20. I would say that's a decent thing. Russell Gage for 20, also to Keaton Shipman. Maybe a little bit of an overpayment. And let me preface off Zach Calder's waiver wire by saying that who he got on waivers was subsequently used in arguably the biggest finessing of the season so far. We'll get to that. He picked up Antonio Gibson and Mike Davis for no money. No money, by the way. It's kind of impressive. Let's see here. I got Laviska Shenault and dropped Phillip Rivers. I advise anyone who plans on getting Phillip Rivers to reconsider that because leaving an empty bench spot is better than getting -2. Let's see here. Keaton got the Eagles defense. That's never good. never good. Wow. Okay. All right, let's get to the weekly finessings. Well, first of all, I guess we can dive into some of the scoreboard. I'll run through that really quickly before we get going. 1 moment, please. Week 2. Here we go. Okay. We had Clay Holbrook beating Andrew 161-96. Good Lord. I mean, goodness gracious. Aaron Jones, he took my cash. I'll just say that. Yeah, we're going to leave that one alone. Gary Frazier beats Alex Trammell. Join the crowd. Alex Trammell, goodness gracious, this team's so bad. Yeah, I mean, his third highest score was Mason Crosby, if that's a kicker. All right, so, yeah, we have Keaton beating Zach Calder. It's kind of big boy ball, honestly. Keaton getting almost 80 points out of his two quarterbacks. That's some points. Cheese came back to beat Scoggins. I'm not gonna say he got spoon fed. He did, but I mean, you know, he won. Darren Waller did good, and our high score for the week is Matt Galt. His 3 highest scores were Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, and Nick Chubb, none of which got less than 25 points. So, I mean, he beat Evan by 98 points. Goodness gracious. All right, well, let's get into this real fast. Ravens going to the Super Bowl. The weekly finessings here. All right, well, we'll first start off by last night. Last night was very busy. Matt Galt and Gary Frazier, they did a trade, and they traded James Robinson for Deontay Johnson. I guess based on a point outcome, I guess that's not bad. Gary got James Robinson off of waivers, which is really good considering he traded him for a wide receiver 2, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but Matt Galt, it has to happen. I mean, I think I have to give you the finesse of the week. Okay, moving on now. Moving on real fast. I don't know if that's going to take finesse of the week, but it's definitely, I'm going to have to give God a finesse on that one. Next we have Keaton Shipman and myself, Andrew Martin. We made a trade last night. He reached out to me and told me that he wanted Chris Carson because apparently he's the only one that sees his value. I've gotten blades of grass and carpet dust for Chris Carson as offers, and honestly, it's kind of disrespectful. So I finally had a legitimate offer come my way, and it was taken. I got an injured Michael Thomas who is out for about a month, so I guess I'll just have to live with that and a backup in Kareem Hunt for Chris Carson. I can't say who got finessed out of this. I don't know. It's tough, especially considering I'm involved. I would say right now, I probably got finessed because, he got the players as of right now. So to that point, I would say I got finessed. I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. Okay, moving on here. We got, let's see here. Excuse me, Siri. Next trade. This was offered to Zach Calder days ago, and he actually accepted it last night, right after, literally 3 minutes after Keaton and I completed our deal. Zach Calder trades Aaron Rodgers and Hunter Henry. Nothing crazy, no crazy big boy ball for Joe Burrow, Marquise Brown, and Zach Ertz. So you look at it from a perspective of, player by player. So Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is a GOAT, but he hasn't performed all that well this year. He's put up a 30 and an 18, where Joe Burrow has put up a 25 and an 18. So pretty close to even there. Zach Ertz and Hunter Henry, that's just, back in the day, those two were pretty good, but, at this point, it's just trading, it's basically trading Laura Lynn oatmeal cookies for great value gummy bears. It's not a whole lot of difference whatsoever. And then I gave him Marquise Brown as a consolation prize because, like I said, they're going to win the Super Bowl, the Ravens. So, yeah. Let's see here. I believe we had we had two other trades. These both involve Zach Calder. Zach Calder has got real busy the last couple of days. NC Who's Your Daddy? Zach Calder traded Mike Davis and Will Fuller. Mike Davis, he just got off waiver wire for $0, and Will Fuller, who he's good but he just can't live up to his talent, which is, I don't know what's going on with him. For DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf, apparently since Cheese has Russell Wilson this year, they're going to let him throw the ball. And DK Metcalf is kind of playing a little bit of ball this year. Both games, I think he's averaging like 16 points or something like that. So yeah, he's playing well. So I guess to that, Evan. Okay, moving on here. Let's see here. I would say Zach got the better of that deal, and in my opinion, this next one is the boy. It is hard. Wow, I really feel as though if I would have made this trade, the whole world would have ended. But since it wasn't me, it was Gary and Zach Calder, and that, honestly, on the surface, I believe Gary thought he might be winning it. But looking at it a little bit closer, like even from like a player-by-player standpoint, Gary, goodness gracious, man. Did you have a little bit too much to drink last night, buddy? I get that North Carolina didn't play because COVID-19, but like you got to at least think about what you're doing. Goodness gracious, I can't even say it. It's hard. Zach Calder, first off, say hey to my cat. Everybody say hey, Sully. Hey, Sully. Okay. All right, we're done. Okay. Zach Calder traded Alan Lazard. I didn't know amphibians played baseball or football. For and Antonio Gibson, who he's an RB1, but he's an RB1 for one, a team that doesn't have a name, and two, if they did have a name, it would be the Washington Landfills. Yeah, the door's free, I guess. He traded Alan Lazard, whom was picked up off waivers just weeks ago, and Antonio Gibson, who was picked up off waivers just hours ago, for Leonard Fournette and Devontae Parker. Oh, boy. All right, let me break this down. Alan Lazard, wide receiver 3 for a run-first offense. For Devontae Parker, who is a wide receiver 1 for a pass-first offense. So, obviously, that in and of itself is a giant finessing. And then let's go to the running backs. Antonio Gibson for Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette was put on the market last week after his explosion game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers once they realized Ronald Jones can barely carry his own baby, much less a football more than 1 yard of carry. Okay, moving on here. So yeah, at the end of the day, it was Zach Calder traded Alan Lazard and Antonio Gibson for Leonard Fournette and Devontae Parker. I mean, Devontae Parker, that dude can ball. I don't think he sometimes gets hurt, but he can ball. Leonard Fournette can ball. Sometimes he gets hurt, but he's not. He's not fighting anybody for touches anymore. Like I said, once they realized Ronald Jones can't put his child to sleep. The dude probably couldn't carry a virus, honestly. He's so bad. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassment to the league. He was good at USC, but again, it's USC. It's the Pac-12. It's no more than the ACC in my eyes. But that's a different subject for a different podcast. Alan Lazard and Antonio Gibson for Leonard Fournette and Devontae Parker. In my opinion, in all my days, especially this season, and of all the people to finesse someone else, Zach Calder. He was the whale, the never-ending whale of finessage, and now this. So it's very impressive that he was able to pull this trade off. And to that, Gary, you know what has to happen. I don't understand why this trade was made, especially when I even reached out for him, but okay, so yeah, that wraps up our weekly finessings. Zach Calder, you won this week, and you, quite frankly, sir, might have won the league as far as biggest finessing of the season. It's so good. You got an RB1 and a wide receiver 1 for 2 bench players. It's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, I'm like, bravo. It's very impressive. Very impressive, sir. But yeah, that'll wrap up our segment of weekly finessings. Look forward to either dragging Zach Calder this weekend or losing by 100, because that seems to be my trend right now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow night, I got Gardner Minshew going against the defense that it's like Miami. Their defense is like Swiss cheese, except there's no cheese. It's just one big giant hole. So yeah, they're not very good. But I suspect a shootout. Honestly, I do, just because neither defense is really any good. I'd love a 30. I'd love a 30 spot from Gardner Minshew. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. We're at 14 minutes right now and 50 seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This will be on the YouTube channel. Hashtag the Chiz, and you can follow the channel also on Twitter. Use the Twitter handle Joe Mixon _blade of grass. Or you can use the hashtag Joe Mixon, you're not good. And for Instagram, you can also go there and use the handle Gary Get Finessed _hard. Gary Get Finessed _hard. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people are 1-1. A lot of people, a couple are 2-0. Clay's 2-0. Who else is 2-0? Matt Gall putting on some nice strong performances. We have a couple 0-2s. Zach Cheese, Alex. I mean, not Cheese is 1-1, but he should be 0-2. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow night. If you've got any other plans, like watching paint dry, remember it is the Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. I honestly might sit here and watch grass grow. I've thought about it, but yeah. If y'all want to tune into the podcast, go ahead and do so. And I'm really looking forward to the games this weekend. So yeah, wrap it up. Peace out. Ravens going to the Super Bowl.